In this module, I'm going to go over with you kind of the titling for your videos and description to not only, again, help get more people to watch your videos, but B, to get them off of the video and onto your website and ideally engaging, in business with you. And the second part we're going to go over too is a little bit of how to use paid advertising to help get your channel growing, especially when you're newer. This can be helpful as a motivator because you can spend a very small amount, $1 or $2 a day to just get some traffic going through your channel and get some feedback while you're waiting for it to pick up and get into the YouTube search rankings. Now, some of the interface and stuff is a little bit older, and that always kind of changes, so try to think more about that part in terms of the strategy and the context of what's going on, and don't get too hung up on the actual interface because you can find it in the new ones. All right, enjoy.
For the video title and meta optimization, there are three things, and this is for any video that you're uploading to your YouTube channel. These are the three areas that we want to pay attention to, not only from a paid traffic standpoint, but also for video for SEO ranking. So it's the title, the description, and the tags. So that's what we've got here. So this is on the edit side. So when you're logged into YouTube, you'll be able to see this. And here's where you change the title, the description, and then the tags for your video. And the title serves two purposes. It's just like it's just like a headline or an email subject line. It's the first purpose is we want to rank for the keyword that you're targeting organically. But the second is we need to attract clicks. We want people to click on the video. So I see a lot of YouTube, so examples of bad titles is like just stating what the video is, like so and so interviews so and so. Like that's not really, unless it's like maybe George Lucas interviews Luke Skywalker, like you're targeting people who love Star Wars, like that title is just not going to get people's attention. So instead, you want to pick something out of the interview that they would be talking about that's interesting to people, and use that as a curiosity headline. So it's like the secret Star Wars movie that was never made, or the one thing George Lucas regrets about Star Wars. Like now we've changed, it's the same video, but we've just made the headline more enticing for people to click and to want to watch. So when you're writing it out, now don't give precedent to the keyword ranking first, if you can, and then try to wrap it into a headline that people want to watch. And you don't have, this isn't like crazy, you don't need to be crazy copywriter here. It's just basic, very basic. I mean, you can see here for this video, it's country swing dance for beginners. That was the keyword I'm targeting. And then I threw in a benefit, which is, how to country swing. So that way, when someone's on YouTube and they see, what's going to happen is they're going to see eventually your video, if it ranks, will show up on this suggested videos or on the side here. And if it just said like dance, people aren't going to click that, but they're going to be reading those headlines to see what grabs their eye. And if it's someone interested in country dance, well, then that headline, hey, country swing dance for beginners, how to country swing, is going to grab them. And I think country swing dance. So okay, so it's already, so this video is a month old, and I'm number 3 for the keyword. I think it was actually even higher. Swing dancing. Swing dance. Yeah, 3rd, so number 3. So yeah, having that keyword first, the one that you want to rank for, is going to help. And then again, it's just writing it out in a way that's enticing for people to read. So you've already kind of done the work for this by doing the keyword and video topic research we did in the previous modules. This is just going to correct you or prevent you from doing titles that are, like I said, it's just a flat description of the video that people just aren't going to click on and watch. So next we have the description of the video. So that's this part right here. And there are two things here. First is you want to have a link to your lead magnet in the first line and include your keyword in the first sentence. So here we've got country swing dance and get the #1 secret to being a good country dancer here. So that's the first line. So and there's the link to the website. Make sure you put in HTTP // Otherwise, it will not be clickable. If you just put in www.showheroff.com, it would not be clickable. So make sure you do that. And that's the first line or the first sentence. And then like put it, hit a return and write a few additional sentences using, the target keyword and related keywords in there. And it's okay to be long because most people aren't going to read this, but YouTube does read it because YouTube still isn't the best as far as analyzing like the video content and ranking it based on the words in the video. So they look heavily kind of at the description here. So it's good to kind of write a long description about your video. You could even almost restate what's going on in the video if this is one that you really want to try to rank for. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll like look at Wikipedia and just see what's on my keyword. Don't copy and paste it because that may hurt you, but just look at it and maybe restate a paragraph or two in there and put it into your description. So, but the main thing is that you have that link, because in the video, remember, we're telling them, hey, click on the link below to get the free opt-in. So we want to make sure that link is right there, right in the front for them. And then the third are the video tags. And what we want here, so the tags are this part down here. And what you want to have is about 7 to 10 tags max, and you want to keep them focused, around this one keyword that you're trying to rank for. So use your keyword and then maybe variations of your keyword. And if your keyword is something that's misspelled a lot, you can use that a couple times as well. So I always do. I always put my channel name in there, and then like one broad category, so like dance or fitness if it was a fitness channel, or marketing if it was a marketing channel. And then you can see all these other just variations of country swing dance beginners. That's what I'm using for the tag. So you follow that same process for your videos. Okay, so that is the and you'll have a checklist at the end of I'll send you later today that will help you kind of walk through that and get it set up for your particular videos. So now let's dive in and talk about the two best starter campaigns to use on YouTube. And these are it right here. So the first one is behavioral remarketing, and the second one is called hot search. And what I'm going to do in this presentation is give you an overview of them and explain them. And then either late this evening or early tomorrow morning, I will send you video instructions on step by step of how to set yours up. But it's important you get a lay of the land so you know kind of what we're doing when we go in there. So first, just real quick, it's always, we're going back to, this was like in module 1, who are we trying to get in front of? And these three questions are important because we can exclude or target based on this as far as age, what is the age range of your prospects, gender, if that's applicable, and the geography, like what country, what state. Do you have states that sell a lot more, or do you only ship to, you only serve in the U.S. or different countries? So just keeping that in the top of your mind when we set up these campaigns is going to be important. So behavioral remarketing targets prospects, based on their level of engagement with your company. So instead of just doing a generic remarketing, which is kind of broad and says the same thing to everybody, this allows us to get a little more segmented and speak directly to the level of interest of your visitors. And what we're going to do is set up 4 behavior buckets. So we do have the broad bucket, which is generic, which is anyone who's visited. Now this is what's cool, anyone who's visited your website or your YouTube channel. So we can remarket to both people. So if you're ranking, if you have videos ranking organically in YouTube, well, now when they watch your videos, they're going to be pixeled and you can remarket to them. Also, if people visit your website, this is why I had you make that modification code to Google Analytics in the first module. We can target people who visited the website who never even saw you on YouTube, but once they visit your website and then later when they're on YouTube, because everybody gets on YouTube, they may not be searching about your stuff, but they're on YouTube, you can have a video ad that runs right to them. So that's the first bucket. It's kind of captures everybody. Then we'll have a bucket that is a little more specific, and that is people who visited your product page, if you're an e-commerce company, or people who visited your service page, if you are a service or an info marketer. And then we go a level deeper, and we have people who visited your cart page in a bucket, and people, or people who visited, the opt-in or lead magnet page. And those people obviously expressed kind of the most amount of interest before actually taking the action. So we want them in their own separate bucket, which allows us to target them and spend a little more budget to them because they've obviously proven that they're a lot more interested than people who, just visited your website and left. And then the last bucket is people who completed, the conversion action. So if they opted in or they made a purchase, well, we're going to go ahead and exclude them from this campaign because they've already taken the action that we want them to do. And so this is that funnel map in the Perry presentation where basically people who are watching a video, they're going to get added to the remarketing list, or if they're on your website, they'll get added to the remarketing list. And now every time they're on YouTube, you will either have what's called an in-stream ad, which is one of these that starts before whatever video they're watching, or an in-display ad, which is going to be shown up to the right of a video that they're watching. And then the neat thing here, again, is that this is targeting people. So these are targeting people who visited your website. It's not targeting the video content. So somebody, for me, if I'm retargeting someone who visited my website, spartastrength.com, they could be watching, they could be watching a music video because maybe they like rock music. So they're watching a rock music video. Well, my ad could still show right before that video because they've been to my website. And that inventory is usually very, very cheap. So this is why it's a great campaign to start with because it's generally very, very cheap. And so with the in-stream ads, what these do is they run right before the video, and people can click on the ad, and it will take them directly to your opt-in or product page. So that does really well. Tyler, who's my AdWords general, he's on the call. We've seen this work very, very well, especially for e-commerce companies. Even if the video is not that great, people will just click on it and go right to the e-commerce store and purchase because, again, they already showed a level of interest in your business. And then the in-display ads, those, if someone clicks on it, they get taken to the video. And then the video, since you've set it up correctly, will point them to go opt in. So it's an additional step, but right now I've still seen it work, and it doesn't necessarily deter people from opting in and getting onto your list because you've provided good value in that video and you've given them a good reason to opt in. So here, and again, for those of us just joining, I will be sending kind of a step-by-step video instructions of how to set this up. I'm just giving you an overview here so you can get a sense of the strategies. But here is when you're logged into AdWords, these are the two ad choices you get when you paste the video in. And so these are the ones I just talked about. So we have in-stream, which is up here, and you can see this is where it lets us put in the URL that we want people to end up on, or the landing page. And then we have in display, and you can see here there's no URL because they're taken right to the video, but instead what I get to do is pick the thumbnail I want shown, and which YouTube just randomly generates those, and then type in headline, description 1, description 2, which is just like what? It's just like Google search.com. You've got your headline and 2 descriptions. Now, the headline's the most important because as you can see here, the in display on the side, when it's on the side of the videos, it doesn't show the description. It just shows the headline. So see, it's country swing dance tips, so it's missing the bottom 2 parts. So that's not going to show here. That will show in the hot search campaigns. So that's the behavioral marketing, and the best thing about it is so right now, because a lot of people aren't using it, it's just very, very cheap. And it's a good way. I mean, what's really powerful about these in-stream ads is you've got 5 seconds that they have to watch. And so it's like you literally, when you're remarketing, somebody who came in, who visited your website, this is your chance to talk directly to them, for 5 seconds. And that goes back to in the previous modules when I was talking about, hey, if somebody came into your office and sat down, could you have a conversation about your business? And of course, the answer is yes, because it's just natural for you. So here's your chance to have that one-on-one conversation. And later, maybe next module, we'll talk about some more advanced videos you can film for this, where it's like you film a video where you're just like, hey, thank you for visiting my site. Well, that might be a little creepy, so we don't say that. But you start off with your biggest benefit for your opt-in or for your company, and just kind of restate your credibility. And it's just been working so well. So that's what's really exciting about the behavioral remarketing. Now the next one, this one's really cool too, because I haven't seen anyone really using this strategy yet on YouTube. So don't go. So first of all, don't go telling everybody about this. All right, this is our little secret, but it works really well because people haven't. I just think most people don't know you can do this, and so this is what I've called it's hot search, and what it does. Oh, here we go. Is it targets prospects based on their level of interest with your video topic, problem, or pain that you just made. So it's very similar to Google.com search. And what it is when people go on YouTube, they type stuff into the search bar, and we have the ability to target and match directly to the keywords that they're typing in. See, it used to be all just display broad. So you say Google, target people who are interested in fitness, and so whatever term people typed in, if Google thought it was even mildly remotely related to fitness, they would show your ad. And we all know how just smart and how great Google is at matching your ad, to relevant terms, which they're not. They're terrible. So now this new level of control allows us to target this search bar directly and only, and target it with just the keywords we want to target. So it's Google.com light. And the cool thing is you've only got 2 ad spaces. So instead of 11 ads, you're competing against 2 ads. And usually, I don't think anybody else is using this correctly, which is why, in this example here, someone typed in how to country dance. Well, you see my ad, and you can choose between my ad or this is hot sauce, which, obviously a very, very relevant term, but it's just like that for so many. If you pay attention to anything you type in, it's pretty close, pretty similar. So so the hot search uses, as you can see, just the in-display only ads, okay? Which is another reason, I think it's another barrier why people don't use it, is because they haven't set up their video the correct way, like you've learned with the specific problem, with the power intro and the power close. So they're not able, even if they were to set up this part right, they're not able to get the leads because they didn't do the video part right. So that's why I think a lot of people just aren't able to tap into it, but you certainly will be. So we're going to be using, this time it's just in display. There's no in-stream ads for the in search. And what we want to do is just get keywords related to the video topic that you're making. So for the country dance one, I have a whole bunch, how to country dance, swing dance, and here because it's so new and stuff, like we're going for, and cheap, like we're going for kind of quantity, not quality. So a couple things you can use. You can use the YouTube Autocomplete, which is like you just start typing in your words and see all this, you can see all the keywords here that are filling up. So you can take note of that. Another cool tool is keywordtool.io, which is, they give you basic stuff for free. So make sure you hit this YouTube tab and then type in your keyword, and don't type in like 50 keywords as far as one string, like 2 to 3 keywords here max. Hit search, and it basically just pulls the info from the autocomplete, but it saves you, the time. So I guess here you can't. Oh yeah, here you go. So you copy all. So it copies those to the keyboard. So I mean, yeah. So that's a very quick way to copy them. And and again, in the interest of speed and because everything's so cheap, like right now, if I was setting this up, I would probably keep almost all these keywords because there's no quality score right now, and a lot of them probably wouldn't even show up. It's just a matter of speed. Maybe I'd take out the for women because my training, stuff is not for women. But I wouldn't go through and nitpick and like try and understand each keyword. It's more about speed here, and because it's so cheap and so new and broad, you can just do this and it'll work. So I'm all about working hard, but if I don't need to do extra work, I'm not going to waste, being efficient too. So keywordtool.io, that's a good resource. And let me get back to my notes here. And then we have Freshkey, which is a research tool from digitalmarketer.com. And I have a link. I'm pretty sure I have a link. So it's $50, but I think I have a link for it for $10. So I'll send that to you. And it's an Adobe Air app, and you can put in same thing. Select YouTube, type in your keyword. It'll give you a list. You can export them to an Excel file, and you're ready to rock. So again, very very simple and fast to use. And then you can use the Google keyword tool, but just know that it's not YouTube specific. That's going back to Google.com, which a lot of times there's some crossover, but there's also a lot of differences. So that's why I like to use Keyword Tool IO or Freshkey right now to generate the keywords. And again, I go for quantity, not quality. Now, this is the most important part of this step: is you always use phrase and exact match only. Okay, because if you put in a broad match keyword, let me show you here. So this is one of my AdWords campaigns on YouTube. Go to keywords. If you put in a broad match, here we go. So you can see I've got all my keywords here, and they're all in phrase match. Because if I put in broad match, a broad match on YouTube is like basically a pass for them to match to every word that they want to. When I was doing broad match for some of my fitness workout stuff videos, they were matching me to like Justin Bieber music videos and Uptown Funk and stuff that's like not even it's not even remote. The only thing that would be related to them is that they're both dudes and maybe a workout for guys. But there's absolutely no quality control. So when we're doing the hot search campaign, we always use phrase and exact match on all these. So all these keywords that I just grabbed, I would use phrase and exact match. And you can just go to AdWordsWrapper.com, paste those keywords that you just copied, hit wrap, then go down to phrase and exact match, hit copy it, and now I've got all those keywords. So they're all here in phrase and exact. So there it is, like 30 seconds that I was able to just dump all the keywords related to that video and put the wrapper on them, and now I've got my hot search campaign running. So that process is what we do, we kind of repeat over and over. But right now, I just want you to do, the action items are going to be, we're going to set up, first you're going to optimize the video title in meta info based on the worksheet that I'll send you later today. Complete your campaign prep checklist, which is just answering a couple questions that will help you when you're setting up these two campaigns. And then either later tonight or early tomorrow morning, I'll send you the two videos to set up the behavioral remarketing campaign and the hot search campaign. And we're going to set up one of those each so that you can start getting traffic in and get the process down. Because once you've done this, now you've completed pretty much the whole process, and you can just repeat it over and over and over again. So Beverly, you can use this, you just for each pain point that your prospects have, and question that they have, you can kind of repeat this whole process. So, obviously eating is a big sphere of info where you can talk about. So you could talk about meals and that are good for them, and particular struggles, and you can just build these little funnels for each one. And same thing, Paul, for runners and marathons. This is what I use for fitness all the time. I'll follow the process to create the video, and then use these hot search campaigns to drive traffic to that video, and it will help boost the organic rankings as well as getting people opted into my list. And then for e-commerce products, again, I don't have an e-commerce site anymore, but we do, Tyler and I do oversee many e-commerce accounts, and the behavioral remarketing kills it for those. And you can look at companies again like Revzilla, who's using the in display or the hot search for their e-commerce companies as well. So that's kind of the overview of the first two campaigns that we're going to set up. So I'm going to, let's see, if you guys have questions, let's go ahead and dive into those. And Tyler, if you have questions too, by all means, raise your hand. And actually, so we've got a special, treat for you guys. Tyler is actually going to, as long as you take advantage of it between now and next Friday, so June 12th, you get an additional 30-minute session with Tyler to help you specifically for setting up or going through the video campaigns. Your calls with me can be about anything, but with Tyler, it's specific on setting up these two YouTube campaigns. So wanted to let you know that, I appreciate you, and we're excited to make this work for you and want to help you do that. But Tyler will, in the email today that I send out the replay of this video, I will include instructions of, I'll include Tyler's email, and you can just email him directly and get in touch with him that way. So that's a good question, Beverly. Thank you. So let's see, anybody, let me kind of open this up here and see if anyone has any feedback or questions. Be happy to answer those. I know it's kind of a lot of info, but trying to keep it nice and concentrated so it's digestible and you can see the next steps of what we have to do. Or if you have specific questions on your videos or maybe some keywords that you might be looking at. Put this up here. Don't be shy. Got some typing, and you can either type them into the chat box or you can just ping me directly here on the mic. I think I've opened the lines, so feel free either way. If there's something that I went over quick or that you have a question on, happy to answer that for you. Good question. So Beverly's asking, is there anything that I know now that I'd wish I'd known before? Well, yes. Yeah, the biggest one is that that you have to use the phrase and exact match on the keywords this year, because I wasted a lot of money running hot search campaigns that were being matched to ads that were, or search terms that were nowhere even near related to the videos that I was promoting on YouTube. So that was an expensive mistake, but now that I've learned that, I am no longer making it, and you will never make it either. So that is definitely what I wish I'd known before I started. But that's one of the advantages of getting cheap traffic off of YouTube is being there first and figuring out that kind of stuff. By taking a couple of arrows, that's just the yin and the yang of, I guess, of exploring a new paid traffic platform. Let's see, David, did you have any questions? Anything pop up on this presentation or anything on your videos? How are they coming along?
Hi, Ryan. It's David.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I haven't got to actually making my video yet.
Okay.
So kind of trying to figure out what exactly I should do the video on.
Sure. Do you have any ideas, or what's your thought? What did you come up with so far, or where'd you stop?
Well, there's so many things, especially with IT. So, I thought about maybe doing kind of an educational series, but then I don't know how that would tie into marketing my company. And then, I also have this digital marketing aspect of my company as well, and I'm trying to figure out, should I split that off as a separate company, or should I tie it in together? Because there is a lot of it that's related.
Right. So you offer, in addition to offering IT services and everything in that realm, you offer marketing services as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's some services that we can do. Obviously, website development. I've actually done some fairly high-end websites. One for Lexus and a couple of very large enterprise type um, websites. But we also have tools like there's a great little tool. It's more for B2B type businesses, but it lets you basically install it on your website, and then it'll tell you exactly who's viewing your website,
Oh,
so
cool.
you'll know. Yeah. So there's stuff like that. Some tools that we have the ability to sell and remarket.
Yeah, well, I think I think those two properties I'd probably approach, differently. You can start them in the
Hmm.
same channel, but at least different playlists or something. But yeah, they're definitely different markets.
Yep.
Um, on the IT stuff, I don't know, like, just in the interest of speed, I don't know if I'd worry about trying to make a whole series versus, trying to pick one or two videos that seem to be a common pain point. Now, is that a local service that your IT's business side?
Well, what we really provide is what we call a managed service, and um, it it depends on the type of service. So, if we're going to manage a company's complete IT, it doesn't necessarily have to be local, but it can. Obviously, regionally or local is where we started.
Right.
But with remote tools, and I also belong to some other groups where I can have other people, other IT people in other regions or locations actually do
Okay.
the service. So it's not necessarily,
So either way,
yeah, local anymore.
yeah. I mean, I would probably, in the interest of smaller targeting, and again, just going through the process, I would probably start local and target local, so because you can target these campaigns, these paid campaigns, to just the geographic area. For the country dance right now, I'm just targeting all that in Colorado, just as I kind of get that up because a lot of people are actually coming to the channel and they want like dance lessons. I'm like, I don't give dance lessons, but my two instructors in there do, so I funnel the business to them.
To
Um,
them. Yeah.
so okay, so if we're doing it local, and then who are your best clients? And guys, I'm going through this process just so you can see, it's kind of what we've done through the modules, but you can apply this to your business as well. So who locally, who are kind of the best clients as far as whether it's business size or industry? Like, is there any kind of commonalities?
Yeah, there's some specific verticals, but I haven't focused on a vertical. We've been pretty horizontal,
Right.
but it's kind of targeting companies. Like minimum thing would be you have a server, either cloud or on premise, and
Okay.
then probably five to anywhere from 5 to 100 users.
Okay. So having the server, that's a good starting point. So it's like, okay, so they've got a server. So like, what is some stuff that could happen that they would maybe Googling, not about hiring somebody yet, but like server issues, or what are common server, like, I don't know IT stuff, so this is where I need your help, but what are just common server day-to-day questions that the business owners might have, or that their team might be looking up.
So some of the
Um,
areas that they're probably going to, and these are going to be specific things that are going to occur throughout various time frames. So one of them would be backup. Maybe they lost some files. Maybe their server's performing very slowly. It's just not responding well, or maybe the server, they've had an issue with somebody who hacked into the server, or unauthorized access to the server. Um, these are going to be kind of events that may occur at some point in time in their business. So
right.
obviously it's not a particular thing that's going to happen, all, continually.
But it's something that may show up.
Yeah, well, the thing with backup is, I could preach to people about backup all day long, and they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Right.
doesn't become relevant until they lose a file or they lose data. Then
Yes.
then backup's really important to them.
Right. Exactly. So okay. Um,
Or business continuity, for example, your server fails, you have an issue where it it it's it just the hard drive crashed and now you can't turn it on. But it
right.
depends on the size of the business. A really small business, that's not going to be important to that owner typically. Um, and then it does depend on the individual. Some individuals, hey, I never want my server to ever go down. Other people, they don't care. It could be down for a day or two or three.
Right.
It's going to vary.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, just kind of with that background, it's kind of looking at the lens of what are they going through, what are questions that daily questions that may come up to them, as you point out, through the cycle of owning that IT through the server, or you guys, if it's something for your business, it could be another product that they own or a service that they're going through. But just typing in, using the autocomplete, what's interesting is, there's a lot of people typing in because IT service management is the first. They don't give us a sense of volume, but they do generally rank these based on search volume.
Hmm.
So IT service management, and you can see this guy here. They're kind of going right after it.
Hmm.
Now let's see what their video. Yeah, so the videos.
Time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, this is a
I know who
terrible video.
these I know who these guys are. Mindshift.
Yeah, so I mean, there's no reason that you can't do a hot search campaign targeting all these IT service keywords, dump them all in there, and have your video, either right here or bump him up. So it looks like the IT guys are kind of actually catching on maybe a little bit to some of this term because they've got, this is a fairly relevant um, issue. So the difference would be then is your video follows the power intro formula and you offer some kind of good tip in there about, and it's you talking or somebody on your team talking versus just a, boring corporate video that people probably aren't going to watch. So that's
Yeah,
that's something.
that company is pretty large. They're a pretty large IT provider.
Mhm.
I would say they're 10 million plus.
Yeah, perfect. Well, here, this is what's so cool about the internet and new properties like this is here's your chance to now obviously not across the nation maybe, but to fight and win and compete in the same space as far as right here on this little search battle and come out on top because you're making a little bit better video. Um, but that's kind of where I'd go as far as just filming the video up, throwing it, targeting these keywords. With $100 spent, you'll probably get tons of views, and you'll start to get some type of feedback.
Okay.
Whether it's feedback that people asking questions or feedback of people opting in or not opting in, it will give you a new data node or data point to decide, okay, I can continue with this or I'll do another video, so on and so forth. And it'll just help you go through that process.
Well, I've seen people do like training videos where they'll go through and they'll provide, different training like on iPhone, Android, or different products, um, and they try to get people to subscribe to their channel. So I don't know exactly. Are they just trying to get a lot of views, or not sure what their revenue model is for that?
Well, most people on YouTube don't have a revenue model. That's what it is. So
Okay.
a lot of YouTube creators, especially, so they call themselves creators, and they're just like, I'm here for the fans, and in some cases they view money as evil for whatever reason, and they don't have a business model. So that's why they're asking to subscribe, and I mean they're getting some money from their ads, but
Mhm.
that's not a sustainable business. It's this is ahead of the curve stuff as far as having a back end and an opt in and a sales funnel, which it's all probably normal and common language to us, but you know that's the benefit of being in Perry's camp and just staying and studying all this stuff is that it seems so common to us, but it's really not that common. Not a lot of people are doing it or leveraging it.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that there's so many people on YouTube that post this stuff. And granted, a lot of the videos from people aren't very high quality, but there are some pretty high quality productions. And I know these guys are spending a fair amount of time to create those, and then they're just publishing them for free. And
there's no opt-in, so it's like, more opportunity for us. So hopefully that was helpful to get some brainstorming started for you, and then also for everyone else listening. Just kind of seeing the process here, because again, this is all about what you're getting with this course is shortcutting a lot of the how-to, but also just getting the process in place so you can repeat it over and over and over again, and just set up video after video faster and faster. Because some videos will take off and do opt-ins well, and some won't. I mean, I've done AdWords videos, and I'm like, oh, this is going to kill it, and like nobody subscribes. And then other ones that I'm like, this should be okay, and a lot of people are opting in. So there is always that randomness factor that you just never know. And I used to try to control it, and then I almost went insane. So I just gave up worrying about it and figured I'd do more.
So should my video focus on the services and products that we provide, or should it be, because I was thinking possibly of doing something like, the top 21 things your IT, service provider doesn't tell you, or, something like that.
Yeah, so I would do that, but I would knock it down to 3.
3? Okay.
Something small, and then in either one, because it's all about curiosity and providing benefits. So this would be like the 3 mistakes when hiring a service provider, or 3 areas to check to make sure like you're getting the right service. Because it's probably like AdWords campaigns. Some people who hire management companies, like Tyler and I, they wonder like, are we really getting what we're supposed to be getting? Because they don't know, they're not AdWords people. So it's probably very similar to IT service. Yep. Some businesses wondering. So you could do a video where you talk about just one and say there's 4 other ones, or 3 other ones, or 2 other ones. Click on the free report down below to get it. Or so that would be your opt-in. Or if you're running it, if you just run this local, then you can say here are the 3. For more, call my office, or call this person, or click on the link below. We're kind of play up the fact that you're local, and so we're in whatever state you're in or city. That all of a sudden brings it to a real personal level. And that may help.
One thing we provide is IT assessment, so we could do like a free IT assessment for them.
Yeah, so you could do exactly. So there it is. So you got your 3 mistakes, and you go over those. Again, this is like, you don't have to go into like mega detail. This is like, we want the video 3 minutes, 5 minutes max. Yeah, it's very one-on-one stuff. But say, hey, there's a lot more mistakes, but I didn't want to bore you with them or whatever. Like, but we do have a free assessment. We'll go in detail, et cetera, and so forth. And actually, remember, that's go back over the power intro, because you want to say that up front, and then also say it in the close. And then talk about the 3 mistakes in the middle.
Okay, perfect. Now I have my video.
There you go. Jackpot. See?
Hope you found that helpful. Make sure you click the links below to download the worksheets if you would like those. And if you want more help, you can hire me by going to my website down below. Thanks.